mobile governance, which indicates how this is to be done and how it is to be integrated. Apart from that, given the level at which we are, there is also now a proposal, and in fact it's at a fairly advanced stage, to actually come up with legislation which would require all services to be made available electronically in all parts of the country. So what are the big problems? What are the two big problems in actually realizing that dream? Number one is connectivity. And now that I'm also looking at it from the point of view of the telecom, I can tell you that there are issues when it comes to connectivity in the rural areas. And recognizing this and recognizing the absolutely critical and essential role of communication infrastructure, there is a major plan underway in the country to set up broadband infrastructure. And as a part of the National Broadband Plan, optical fiber connectivity is being extended right up to every single village panchayat. 250,000 village panchayats would, in the next 2 to 3 years, have optical fiber connectivity reaching right up to the panchayat. Today, we already have nearly 500,000 villages which have coverage through the mobile telephone. Optical fiber would reach 250,000 panchayats in the next 2 to 3 years. And there is separately a program for extending wireless broadband, because even if optical fiber goes up to every panchayat, remember the last mile for quite some time will still be wireless. So the wireless broadband is another initiative which is part of the National Broadband Plan, and that too would actually be completed in 2 years' time. So in the next 2 to 3 years, broadband connectivity up to the last point in the country would become available as a result of the broadband initiative. Do I have concerns about whether this implementation would actually roll out and happen the way it is planned? Certainly I do, because there are many challenges on the ground, and there are lots of issues in terms of, for example, the availability of power, in terms of the right of way. And for many of these, there are certain unique solutions planned. For example, the use of renewable energy, the idea of signing agreements with states which provide for right of way in a very systematic manner, the use of electric lines to speed up the rollout of broadband using the aerial route as opposed to the underground route. So there are lots of these innovative approaches which have been built into the National Broadband Plan. So as I said, there are concerns, but that's not the major concern. The really major concern is whether the entire set of initiatives in terms of services would actually grow, both in terms of government services and in terms of private services, and whether quickly, in a short period of time, maybe over 2 to 3 years, there would be enough of a build-up of services in the form of not just, as I said, data type of services, but important social sector services, education, health, and so on, which people in rural areas see value in. Those services need to come up quickly for this entire investment to actually be productive, and also for it to be economically viable. These services, I think, require an enormous amount of entrepreneurship, and that is really, in my opinion, the key in a country like India. For a long time, we have been developers of solutions for problems in other countries, solutions which have been devised in those countries, but solutions which have been implemented by companies in India. This is a different game. This is not just about implementing a solution. This is about imagining the solution. But even more importantly, it is about first recognizing the problem. What is the need in a rural area? What kind of service do people need? What are the possible solutions? And then how do you go about implementing them? I think that requires a unique blend of entrepreneurship and technical capability. And I think this is a core area of India's strength. And from what has been seen, these solutions that are implemented in India have great relevance in many parts of the world, especially the developing world, but in many cases, even in the developed world. The cost effectiveness of these solutions and the innovativeness, I think, especially in today's times, have tremendous appeal. The use of mobile for extending financial services, the use of ID, the unique ID, the Aadhaar project in India as it is called, which not only provides biometric ID but enables authentication on the mobile device. The combination of financial services and ID services and the conversion of the mobile phone into not just an instrument to communicate but more or less a mobile wallet. All of these hold enormous possibilities, and when you combine it with a democratic environment and the possibilities that it affords for greater participation in the political processes in the country, I think the prospects are really quite exciting. Of course, some people may argue that perhaps we don't need even more political participation than we already have. But I think there can never be too much of participation, and I firmly believe that the e-governance and in fact all these media offer exciting possibilities for far greater participation, which is absolutely necessary for the government as well as the businesses to really answer the needs that people have around the country. This, I think, is going to be the most exciting period in the next 4 to 5 years as these initiatives of connectivity roll out, as the services roll out, as the young entrepreneurs who are coming out from colleges start imagining to actually go out and do it. This is an opportunity to really make it happen. And I hope this event helps in stirring that spirit among all the people who are here as well as the people whom this event touches directly or indirectly. Thank you very much.